Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to be with you all this afternoon. And thanks to NASSCOM and Vizag Industrial Scan for giving us an opportunity to share my experience in the Indian sugar industry. Sugar is produced in 200 countries, and approximately there is about 180 million tons in the year 2019 and 20. The consumption all over the world is touched almost 175 to 177 million tons recently. And Brazil is the largest sugar producing country, and of late, India has surpassed Brazil. As far as the Indian sugar industry is concerned, it is the second largest agro-based industry, and there are about 543 sugar factories in the country. And out of these, around 530 factories are working. And in the year 1920, the sugar production touched 28 million tons. And the estimated consumption in the country is around 26 million tons. Since last a decade or more than a decade, the per capita consumption is still close to 820, as against the estimated of 30. When compared to other countries, it is very, very low. Compared to USA, especially, it is 3 times lower actually. In our country, there are about 50 million farmers in this cultivation, and the 5 million acres of land is cultivated in sugarcane. The average yield per hectare touched 75 tons approximately, and the annual cane payment to the farmers, it is almost 1 lakh crores actually. It gives an employment to about 5 to 6 lakh direct employment, and to 10 to 11 lakh people indirect employment. The annual wage bill touches almost 10,000 crores for direct employment, and 10 to 13,000 crores for indirect employment. The industry contributes about 1% national GDP. As far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, there are about 12 factories in operation in 1920, and the production capacity is around 64,000 tons of cane processing per day. There are about 10 power plants, and the production is around 110 megawatt. There are about 8 distilleries which makes ethanol and alcohol. The ethanol production capacity is around 8 kiloliters. In our state, the highest sugarcane processed was 172 lakh tons in the combined state, wherein there are about 44 sugar factories actually. Now the production is as low as 2 lakh tons in the last season. As far as the farming community is concerned, there are about 6 to 7 lakh farmers in cultivation, and about 78,000 hectares of land is cultivated in sugarcane. The average cane yield is around 80 tons. The highest in the country is Krishna district. It touched more than 100 tons per hectare actually. The annual cane payment in our state is around 1,800 crores. Direct employment is for around 25,000 people, and indirect employment is for about 50,000 people. Annual wage bill is around 5 crores for direct employment, and for indirect employment, it is around 1,000 crores. We are almost contributing around 1 lakh for 1 acre for sugarcane area to the state as well as the central exchequers by way of various taxes and duties actually. So coming back to my company, our company founder is an ICS officer who started this company in the year 1936 with a capacity of around 600. And he is Mr. Velagapudi Ramakrishna, a top bureaucrat and civil servant who had conceived the idea of promoting agro-based industries, which prompted him to take over the ailing cooperative sugar factories in the year 1941. A separate company was constituted, name of the KCP Limited in Andhra Pradesh state. The philosophy of late Sri V. Ramakrishna was modernize, indigenous, never compromises on technology. The KCP Limited never looked back from the year 1941, and gradual stages it had expanded to 8,000 tons per day capacity at Uyuru. KCP has diversified into heavy engineering, cement. Heavy engineering division was established in the year 1955. The heavy engineering unit at Chennai was the largest in Asia. This complex is one of the largest in Southeast Asia and highly integrated centers with casting, fabrication, and machining facilities, catering to the needs of infrastructure machinery for core heavy industries like sugar, cement, steel, and power. KCP has supplied many sugar plants and cement plants across the globe. In the year 1995, the company is divided between two brothers actually. The company is divided as TKCP Limited and KCP Sugar and Industries Corporation Limited. The KCP Sugar Industries Corporation Limited is having only 2 sugar factories and a distillery, and then biotechnology division and wastewater treatment equipment manufacturing companies actually. The founder for KCP Sugar was late V.M. Rao, and he is the son of founder chairman Pudi Ramakrishna, and our present managing director is Irimkad Velagapudi. The product profile at our complex is we produce around 8,000 sugar bags per day, and we have 15 megawatt power plant, and we also produce around 50,000 liters of ethanol per day, and we also produce 30 tons of carbon dioxide per day. We also make a calcium lactate, which is a pharma product, around 500 tons we make per annum. We have the biggest biotechnology center wherein we produce almost 10 to 15 varieties of biofertilizers, biopesticides, bioinsecticides to help the farming community for the soil health management. But though this is the best example how a rural India can be modernized, and KCP Sugar is the best example because it is there in 200 villages in Krishna district. Because of this company, today almost in all the villages, farmer children are there in either in US or Europe in software industry. But today the industry is in crisis, especially southern part, more particular Andhra Pradesh. The reasons for the crisis in Indian sugar industry is because under capacity utilization of the factories, that is less cane supply for the by the farmers. Cane cultivation is not remunerative to the farmers because of high cost of labor and no issue of irrigation. Revenue from the products and byproducts is not matching with the production cost. So as a result, many sugar factories are shut down now. Whereas why farmers are not planting cane? Because the yields are stagnated, non-availability of high yield varieties, deterioration of soil health, that is the low organic carbon level as low as 0.5, labor cost for all the operation from soil preparation to the harvesting and transport, costing around 40% of the total cane price what they get from the sugar factories. In the recent past, sugar scarcity started in India, as you all know. It is high in southern part and very high in Andhra Pradesh. The attitude of people in the country is changing in the recent past, and as a result, people in the villages are not showing interest to taking hard jobs, particularly sugarcane harvest. The cost of harvesting in the case of Uttar Pradesh is hardly 400 rupees per ton, whereas in southern part it is touching as high as 1300 rupees. This problem could even come very soon across the country also. Though the mechanization is successful across the globe, unfortunately it is not suitable to our soil conditions because of small holdings, that is 1 to 2 acres, bunds and irrigation channels and so on actually. So there are some issues to the industry. The issues to the industry is the sale price is not matching with the production cost. And particularly in Andhra Pradesh, there is ban of selling ethanol and other alcohols to other states. And the price for the electricity in our state is very low compared to other states. Next. So sugar factories are focal points for fueling the quick economic growth of rural areas. There is no other industry where the industry and agriculture is so close, so direct, and so intimate. We thank you all for giving us an opportunity to make you aware of the present world India AP sugar scenario and how an agro-based industry can change the profile of rural India. Many opportunities are available to the entrepreneurs to help in nation building and wealth creation, as well as adding value to the balance sheets of their organization. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir. I think there were, I think some. Hello. Yes, sir. So I think that's a great presentation. Thank you again. And I think it really, lists out certain challenges that you're talking on the sugar industry, and specifically in the state of Andhra Pradesh, wherein I think the whole industry has been in dire straits. So just 2 key points I took away from there was labor scarcity and attitude. So this basically sends out the messages that there is a sense of automation, or there is some type of mechanization which the industry probably is seeking for. Now, before I go to the presentation and before I invite Mr. Naren onto the stage, I would also like to quickly introduce Mr. Bhargav, who also is with NASSCOM in the Vizag Center. If you could please write down your questions in the questions section. So after the presentation, we get into the Q&A, and Bhargav will take some of the questions to the panelists. So having said that, I would just like to invite Mr. Naren. So if you could just come in and please start with your presentation, Mr. Naren. Thank you.
Can you hear me, Bhargav?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me, Bhargav?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity from NASSCAM, the Vizag Industrial Scan. So this is the flow chart of the sugar complex. So sugar complex generally started with sugarcane fields where the sugar cane is grown, and this cane is transported to the sugar mill where the sugar is the finished product, and whereas molasses, this is the molasses, and bagasse are the byproducts from the sugar process. And this molasses used as a feed for alcohol and ethanol plant, that is a distillation unit. And this bagasse is used for boiler, and from the boiler steam is generated, which is sent to the cogeneration unit. See, the steam, whatever coming out from the cogeneration unit used for this, again the process of the sugar and alcohol and the ETP or biogas plants, and some power is exported to the grid, and whatever the power required to the auxiliary units from this cogeneration unit. And the waste material coming out from the CTP and biogas plant used to make the composting, and this compost is again given to the farmers to maintain the ecological balance. So this is the pictorial representation of the sugar process. The sugar process starts with the cane growing and cane harvesting, and then cane transport to the industry. After transporting, the sugar cane is broken into small pieces. That is the shredder unit where that sugar cane is broken into small pieces. And after that, these pieces of the sugar cane is passed through this milling tandem. We can call it as a crusher. It is like a crusher. But in a single crusher, we can't extract the juice and separate the fiber material from the sugar cane. So there are series of crushing units. The whole of the system is called as a milling train, and the fiber material which is separated from the milling tandem is called as a bagasse, and the juice which is separated in the milling unit, that is extraction unit, is sent to the process to the sugar. So once these are all the steps in the sugar process, one is heating and clarification and evaporation, and then the thick syrup from the evaporator sent to the vacuum pans, and from vacuum pans we make a crystallization, and that crystallization is sent for centrifugation, drying, cooling, and packing. These are all the unit operations involved in the sugar process. And the byproducts from this process are mud, that is the mud is sent to the biofertilizer making, and other is molasses that is sent to the distillery. More. So this is about how the automation was developed as from the decades. So earlier we used the pneumatic transmitters to measure the process variables like flow, level, and as well as the pressure and all. And later on, slowly the development the PLC, SCADA and PLC has came into the picture, and now the DCS is ruling in the industry. And yet recently the people are talking about the hybrid automation also. And this is the pictorial presentation of how the automation transformed into the latest system of DCS. And this was the developments which we made in our industry, and we developed the state of art of the technologies. The first is that is the evaporator area where the juice is evaporated, where the water is present in the juice is evaporated. That is the most modern energy efficient evaporator configuration. And then what are the waste heat from the process area we are utilizing back for our process application, and PLCs for auto condensing system for vacuum creation, and DCS for auto pH control system, where the quality is mainly depend upon this pH control system. and then turbines, replacement of turbines from low pressure to high pressure, and automation of the process here using the DCS, and installation of the VFDs for all our pumps. Besides this, we have developed a lot of technologies, but in brief, I have given some of the technologies. And this is the results we have achieved by doing all those things. This is the electrical energy part, and this is the thermal energy part. In 2001, our thermal energy consumption per ton of cane is 51 tons, but whereas now it is 30.38. And this is the, besides energy conservation, we are focusing on resource conservation also. So our water consumption has come down to 41.05, which is the national best figure in water consumption as well as the wastewater generation also in the sugar industry. This is the wastewater generation. Now we are at 20.12 liters per ton of. And these are all the testimonies for our achievements. See, coming to the opportunities, that mean what hurdles we are now facing in our industry, and what need to be addressed to improve our efficiencies or as our performances. See, the first opportunity for the startups is the entry of foreign materials into the crushers. Crushers means that's a mills where the canes are passed through that mills, and juice is separated, juice and fiber are separated. So in that area, what we have done is while loading at the fields, the farmers used iron channels and some wooden logs to support the cane bundles. During the unloading in our factory, those channels are wooden logs sometimes dropping in a carrier. The carriers are running in auto. So those are going along with the cane bundles and making disturbances in the crushing area, and sometimes making damage, or we are stopping the plant also, our plant also sometimes. So at present, we don't have any auto system to identify those iron materials or any foreign materials. So only we are doing the manual observation. We are looking for the solution in auto mode, where make some cameras or maybe some sensors, which what we need from that is they have to identify the foreign materials and give feedback to our controllers so that we can make something to solve that problem. That is one area. And the other is the poor quality product identification. Generally the sugar, after making the sugar crystals from the syrup, we send that material to the centrifugation. Those centrifugals are rotating at high speed at about 1200 RPM. There the material is washed with the water. Sometimes maybe with the problems in the machine or maybe the input materials, there may be of the influence in the quality that will be indicated in yellowish instead of white color. So this is also now we are doing manually. Whenever some poor quality material came out from the centrifugations, we are diverting manually for reprocessing. So this area also we are looking for the solution, AI based solution. We are looking this area also. And the next area is this is on agriculture part. Ours is the agro-based industry, and about 30,000 farmers are cultivating the sugar cane at about 15 to 20,000 hectares. So at present, these practices are being monitored by our field staffs. Though the farmers are in cultivation, we are technically supporting and financially supporting to the farmers from time to time. This activity is being done by our fieldmen. Those fieldmen are generating the data and making the logs. Basing on those logs, we are developing the control measures. So in these farm practices, these are all the activities right from soil sampling and green manuring, like soil reclamation, land preparation, spacing, cane plantation, gap filling, earthing up, fertilizer management, and sometimes summer affected areas due to hot conditions, and growth promoters, micronutrients, detrashing, and trash twist propping. And then integrated pest management, population counts, crop log samples, waterlogged area, field brickery, crop condition, plot details, grower information, and other important parameters, time taken to cane harvesting to crushing time. Otherwise, if there is any delay in between these two aspects, there is a loss of the material. So in that area also, we are looking for digital monitoring and digital control in this area also. Next is sugarcane field measurement. As of now, this field measurement we are doing by the GPS operated equipment. This equipment will be carried by our employee, and he will be rotating around the flat. Basing on that, we are measuring what is the exact area which was planted for that particular year. And this process also, we are identifying sometimes some mistakes due to the manual errors. And it is also, we are expecting the solution from the satellite based exact high accuracy measurement. And this is the final packing area. In this area, as of now, we have the automatic weighment system where the sugar bag 50 kg or 100 bags we are filling. But in this area, we are looking the complete solution for bagging and bag picking, bagging, and stitching, stacking, loading. Up to the loading point also, up to loading point, we are for the solution. So thank you. I am sure that technocrats who have done wonders by developing world-class technologies and added value to the industry a lot. With that rich experience, I am confident they will definitely crack the shared challenges and convert into opportunities. Thank you for Vizag Industrial Scan and NASSCOM for organizing the most wonderful and fruitful conference. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. We have a video because you are. May I request you to go on mute, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. May I request you to go on mute, sir? The other speakers, because there's a echo. Yes, thank you so much. So, sir, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Naren. Thank you, Mr. G. Venkateshwara Garu, for quickly taking us through what are the challenges in the sugar industry, and also, sir, for giving us an overview of the sugar industry. As you said, most of us are have not looked at from the technology startup ecosystem into the sugar industry where there's so much scope. So this was our attempt to bring out a few of these problem statements, and of course we will be sharing it with more startups who are present today and also offline. So on that note, there are a few questions. There are about 3 to 4 questions before we end the session. We can take some of those questions. I think the first question I will actually ask, I will direct that towards Kalyan from the NASSCOM COE team. Kalyan, so we have a question. Maybe both Mr. Venkateshwara Garu and you can answer this. I'll request Kalyan to take first. How do you see the role of innovation centers and incubation centers and startup ecosystem in introducing innovations in the sugar sector? What are your thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, Bhargav, thanks for the question, and thanks for Dr. Shivan who asked us this question. So what I would probably respond is that
Kalyan, sorry, before you go on, can I request Mr. Naren to stop presenting the screen, please, so that we can have the speakers on the screen on the stage. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Bhargav. So I was just addressing the query here. I think it's a very valid question. And the role of center is to basically address these kind of challenges, right? Is to talk to the relevant industries, talk to the industries within Andhra Pradesh, like the sugar industry here, understand their technology roadmaps, their innovation ecosystem, and as you mentioned, this was just a start. This is the start of a conversation that we are having, where we have a few problem statements put out. But the idea is definitely to move to a part where, let's say, if we get a few of the industries share their problem statements, just let's say KCP, the other companies also come in, and some of these problem statements might also be common to different industries. Like we've seen the use of computer vision as well as satellite monitoring for a lot of other industries too. So my response to that would be, once we get an aggregation of some of the problem statements, we do have an opportunity to have some kind of an open innovation challenge where we can throw it open to the larger startup ecosystem, and thereby galvanize the ecosystem and also have some adoption from the end users, whether it's KCP or others.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kalyan.
As far as the opportunities are concerned, sugar industry who doesn't see it physically, they may feel that it is easy to produce sugar because sugarcane is actually sugar is produced in the field itself, not in the factory. We are only converting sugar from the liquid form to the solid form after purification actually, and it needs almost all the engineering. It's more than any engineering college actually. Whereas if you see a petro pharma industry, hardly there will be one or two unit operations and one or two unit process. Whereas in sugar industry, almost all the unit operations, all the unit process is there. So that is how definitely there are a lot of opportunities for innovations who can definitely contribute for the industry as well as to the farming community and society at large. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I think next question is to you. So the other, what is the process of onboarding a startup at KCP if we have a solution for you? So how open are you to working with startups? And if startups have solutions, how can they, work with you?
Yeah. My advice to the startup or innovators is we are open as far as the experiments are concerned. And this is the factory wherein many of the Indian sugar industries, whosoever has started, whosoever are running, whosoever are going to launch new sugar projects, first they will come to KCP and see what is going on. They will learn and then go back and then implement actually. So it's like a big experimental platform on that front. So you all, whosoever, they are most welcome. They can come here. We will also share our experiences. I'll keep my team on the task so that they can really experiment on a maybe a pilot scale or a full scale actually. So you are most welcome.
Sir, I think thank you so much. I think that's very encouraging to hear also, because you're the KCP Sugars is the place that people come to and look for innovations. I think it's very encouraging for the startups to hear, and they can come and do pilots with you. And if it works out well with you, there is an opportunity for them to scale this to other companies, right? So next one is a little more technical. I don't know if you may want to take it now, or if we could answer that offline. So one of the questions is, or somebody, if you can have someone answer that offline. The yield variation is quite high, 40 tons per hectare, 100 tons per hectare. What are the opportunities for startups who already work with farmers to increase their yield and save more water? Close to 40% water is the question that they put up here. So they're saying, like, since the fluctuation is high, what opportunities to work with farmers also and reduce their energy resource consumption and also increase their yield at the same time.
As far as this question is concerned, actually the yield will depend upon many factors. As you know, any agricultural products depend upon the soil, weather, water, temperatures, humidity, and so on actually, and the varieties what you really plant actually. So even in Krishna district, there is upland, there is a dryland, there is wetland, black cotton soil, like that. So there are so many variables. So you cannot really generalize a solution where yield can be same or yield why it is not coming actually. So as far as these startups, what we are today, for you the opportunity is how to reduce the water consumption in the field. So for that, there is various varieties of irrigation systems are there. One is flood irrigation, where a lot of water is getting evaporated and wasted. There is a sprinkler irrigation, a drip irrigation, there is a pivot irrigation. All that can be automated by having a gadget which can be inserted in the soil. Depending upon the soil moisture, automatically these either sprinkler or pivot or drip irrigations will automatically on. The advantages is it not only saves 25 to 35% water, it also saves because now these days power is at free of cost, so farmers simply they will switch on the bore wells actually, so which is a national waste. Likewise, you can save. Now, more than this, whatever fertilizers farmers are using, that can be mixed with this water going through this sprinkler irrigation or drip irrigation. There also farmers can save the fertilizer. Likewise, it will ultimately save their production cost.
Great, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that's all. We have a very similar question. It says, how can IoT create an impact in the field of sugar and sugarcane production? I think a part of it's covered in the presentation already. It's not limited to IoT, sir. Do you see the scope for IoT and AI and other technologies like drones, mapping, playing a big role in the sugar industry, farms, and also sugarcane production?
So definitely, whatever IoT or big data and then this data analytics can play a major role, not only in the factory but also in the farm. London Business School, they told me last year already a team is working in a very big way wherein they want to integrate everything with IoT actually, like right from the land preparation up to the harvesting and processing inside the factories also. So they'll have a lot of number of gadgets to maintain the soil moisture, then relative humidity, then the fertigation, then after that pest disease management. Then it can be connected to a drone where drone can spray the required pesticides and insecticides in larger group of areas. So likewise, people are already working. Even for that matter, ITC also has got a solution wherein they are monitoring their chili farmers and tobacco farmers. So because they are more particular about the quality of the product, that is tobacco or chilies, what sort of seed mostly these ITC company will be giving. After that, whether they are really using that one, how the growth is, what is the growth in almost all the other farmers, then what exactly the farmer is doing, it will be monitored through a cell phone. Today soil preparation is there, tomorrow soil sowing is there, in how many days what is the crop height, in how many days any pest has come, whether it is uniform or not. Likewise, they are collecting a big data and then analyzing and then trying to educate the farmers better yields and less cost.
Got it, sir. Thank you. And we have one last question from Malesh, and he's like, who do we contact to present our IoT and smart irrigation and get started with the pilots? Malesh, I think I can take that question. You can reach out to me. I've also put in my email address in the chat box. It's bhargav@mail.nascom.in. And we can facilitate further introductions as needed based on your solution. And so on that note, I think so we have
Bhargav, just a quick thing, just keeping in mind that we have enough time here and all that. So I would just like to go back to Naren's presentation, right? So I think where he was talking about the crushers, if Naren could just, elaborate a bit more on the crushers. In fact, I mean, are they looking for a service in that sense, or it's more of a product that, I mean, is it more from a manufacturing standpoint, on the crusher slide that Naren was talking about?
No, it is not related to the service actually. What he was trying to tell you is, he was trying to explain the unit operations, what exactly it is happening, like farmer is bringing the cane and then cane will be unloaded into the preparatory device where cane will be broken into micro level pieces. Then after that, the juice present in the particles will be extracted by using the rollers, what you see on the roadside, what people will be drinking the sugarcane juice. But only thing is, the difference is here the roller size is very big and there are big motors and little automation is there. So he would like to have complete automation in that cane preparatory devices and cane juice extractory devices, so that, because power consumption is the biggest area. For example, in our factory, there are 6 crushers in one particular tandem actually. 6 crushers, we have 900 kilowatt AC drive. So each 900 kilowatt AC drive will run 2 mills actually. So that means 2 into 3, 6 will be there. So if you have a full automation, One is to reduce the manpower, other one is to reduce the stoppages, next is to reduce the power actually. And more than all these things, you will be extracting more sugar from the bagasse which is going as a fuel, where otherwise sugar will go into the boiler actually, which is a national waste. So likewise, automation can help the factory for loss reduction, manpower reduction, and waste minimization actually.
So just one more clarification I needed, Venkatesh Rauji. Did you say that ethanol is not allowed to be sold in the state of Andhra Pradesh? Is that correct?
No. The problem here is there is a national policy of ethanol. You know, we have already touched 6 to 7% in the last year. This year, they are planning to touch 10% at a national average by 2022. But there is a national policy advisory to all the states. But unfortunately, the states are not really implementing guidelines given. There are a lot of restrictions because the restrictions might be required when you are manufacturing bottles actually, but not in terms of fuel ethanol. But unfortunately, regional governments, they are not bothered about the national policy. Particularly in our state, there are some sugar factories run by the state government wherein they cannot sell their molasses to other states. If they sell other states, they'll get more revenue. So they are forced to sell inside the state wherein they are not getting enough, but they don't have distilleries also. So likewise, they are losing the revenue, number one. Number two, there are more distilleries in Andhra Pradesh, but there are more bottling plants in Telangana and other states. So earlier, we are forced to, we have to sell the alcohol to other states. But at that time, there are a lot of restrictions. There is an exit tax, all that it is there. So that is what Now, of course, some people, they are making ethanol, like we are also making ethanol. We almost supply 1.25 crore liters of ethanol every year to these oil companies actually. There are restrictions. Your question, the next is the power. For example, this is a green energy actually. This should be encouraged because directly and indirectly you are helping the farmers, you are helping the society, you are helping the nation to save the country from environment, so on actually. So Karnataka government and Maharashtra government, they are paying 6.5 rupees to 7 rupees per unit of power what they take from a sugar factory. Whereas in our state, it is close to 4 to 4.5 rupees only. So that is where we are unable to get better revenues in the state when compared to other states actually. That is what we mean.
Thank you, sir. Aditya, before I hand over to you to conclude the session, I would like to just reiterate one point from our Q&A session, which was one of the answers of Mr. Venkatesh Garu, that he said KCP Sugars is the place where people look for innovation in the sugar industry. So it's a message for the startups who are attending here today and also who we will be sharing the video with later. That it's a great opportunity for you to explore this industry, and we can facilitate any further connect that is required if you have relevant solutions. So thank you much for that encouraging point, sir, because the startups would love to hear where there are opportunities to work with industry. Over to you, Aditya, to conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhargav. And yes, you're right. I think Venkatesh ji has given us the biggest headline. I think KCP is open to work with startups, and I think I'm pretty sure that like NASSCOM will take this going forward and probably overwhelm you with a lot of startups and all that stuff. So again, a special thank you to everybody for like joining us for this quick and brief session, and thank you again, Venkatesh ji, again, also Mr. Naren, for giving us that fabulous presentation and a quick overview about what the whole process is like. So thanks again, thanks Kalyan, thanks Bhargav for taking the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you all, sir.